Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. About a year ago I filmed my very first video and it was a cage tour of my Suggie cage, and I decided to refilm it and show you how the cage looks like at the moment 1 year later, because the circumstances have changed a little bit and so has the cage. Plus I've added a few stuff inside that I've made over time or purchased for them. And I thought that you might enjoy this video, so here it is. The cage is a Montana Palace 2 for parakeets. It's the one with the smaller bar spacing so that the Suggies can't get out. You can also purchase the one for parrots, but the bar spacing would be too big for Suggies since they are so small, so please don't do that. This cage is really amazing. It's very sturdy and easy to clean. I love it so much, and it still looks as great as it did when I first got it. It's about a year old now, I think. And let's just dive right into it. I'm just going to show you guys how the cage looks like. So in the middle I have a divider at the moment because my Suggies are still not introed to each other. I have purchased a new Suggie a while back, but her biological brother does not accept her yet. So I'm still doing intros on them. If you want to know more about intros with Suggies, I have a video on that too. This time it's a bit more difficult, but I'm not giving up hope. But still I have to keep them separated just to avoid any accidents. So in that side of the cage at the moment I have Lily and Nala, and over there I have Daisy and Oreo. And their two bonding pouches too, and a couple toys that I have for them for playtime. And this is the cage. I decorated it with some plastic vine because it looks nice that way. I tried finding one for winter, but they either had glitter or they just looked unsafe to me, so I did not want to purchase those. Instead I've kept one for autumn just because, well, I would like to have something nevertheless. And this is it. Now let's see the inside, or maybe let's just show you the outside a little bit. So I have 3 feeder doors on each side. You would normally put bowls with food in there, but I don't, so I just keep them closed with zip ties just so that they don't accidentally open. And I have 2 more on the inside. Let's see. One is down here and one is up there. I've actually attached the support to this one just because I wanted to add some toys to it, and this is how it looks like. Then on the bottom they have fleece instead of pellets just because it's easier to clean. I like to vacuum the cage almost every day, if not every other day. You can just remove this afterwards, remove the bottom, change the fleece, and put it back in. And then over here they also have a drawer where you can see a bit of poop. I'm just going to close that again. That catches the rest of the stuff that falls down from the cage. And also, if I can show you, on the sides I have this little thing right here, oops, to keep the blankets in place. There we go. Then I have a few toys on the sides of the cage. These little rings from water bottles, from the big ones. They really love to carry these around. I just cut them over here so that the Suggies don't get stuck in them. And then they carry them around in their pouches. You might even be able to see a couple rings in Lily and Nala's pouch when I show them to you, because I am noticing that a few of them are missing from the cage. Inside we have some toys. This is a little toy farm that I've purchased secondhand, and a few other small ones over here. They kind of like to throw these around. Then they have a coconut for hiding, and of course a freedom wheel. I've had a stealth wheel before and I was very happy with the stealth wheels, but I've decided to upgrade, so I purchased the freedom wheels instead. If you have Suggies and you have done your research on them, you will probably know by now that most wheels you can purchase in pet stores are unsafe because very often they have a bar in the middle and the gliders can actually hurt themselves when they're running around, just because they like to jump a lot and they could hurt their back or their tail or even their patagium. That is the flap of skin between their limbs. And so the best wheel for a Suggie would be one without a middle bar, and ideally it would be one like the Freedom or Stealth wheel. You can also purchase other safe wheels. For more information, I am going to post a link to Sugar Glider info just so you can read about those. Then pretty much every baby toy would be safe. You just have to make sure that they can't actually get caught anywhere, and that it doesn't have any batteries inside, because they like to pee everywhere and you don't want them to accidentally hurt themselves while they pee on something electrical. Okay, since I have just cleaned the cage a few hours ago, this door is closed, but it should not be. Usually I leave it open and I put this ball inside just so that they don't accidentally close it and get caught in there. Then this little thing right here I made for them. Let's see if I can show you. I made this actually to put it inside their travel cage for when I take them with me on vacation. That hasn't happened very often, but I leave it inside their cage because they like it a lot. It makes a lot of noise. It has a lot of beads and whatnot, and also this little braid right here, they love to unbraid or untangle, whatever you want to call it. Then this little thing right here, they can hide inside. Actually, I think yep, look, they hid some toys in there too. Then on the back there's another toy to climb and to get inside. And over here, this little thing here we got for Christmas from a friend, from Dobby's previous owner. And you can actually open it too. And sometimes they like to hide in there. Then they have the coconut. And over here is a little bridge that I've sewn for them. And some more toys up there. Made by myself mostly. This is actually for Halloween because of the color, but they love it so much, so I didn't want to remove it. And then, oh, let's see, how can I show you? Like this. Then this right here, with zip ties and fleece and Rex lace and beads, you can do a lot of stuff that Suggies will enjoy. Then we have that big one right there. It actually had more flowers on top, but the Suggies removed them. But I always say, if they destroyed them, at least they had a lot of fun. Then this toy right here, you might recognize from my first cage tour. It's been demolished a little bit. They have removed pretty much every leaf they could remove, and also some of the beads. But they love the toys so much, so I still use it for them very often. And then these guys are glass markers. You would normally put them on your glass if you're at a party or something, just so you know which one is yours. And the Suggies love to throw these around, so that's why they have a lot of them inside of their cage. And then over here is a little paper piñata I have purchased for them for Christmas. On the back you can actually hide treats and then let them have some fun with it. Oops. So on the sides, I also have these little perches, I think. I don't know what you would normally call them, but they would be used for trimming down a little bit their nails. Honestly, mine don't really use them, so they're pretty much useless, but Oreo does like to climb on them sometimes. They're not really sharp at all, so they won't hurt their paws. It's just that they pee on them and they will eventually start to stink, and when that happens I am going to have to remove them and will not replace them. Over here I have a little shipping tube. I like to use those for the cage because they love to use these as tunnels and hide in there. And I usually take them from work because we don't have a use for them. Cut them in proper sizes and then just attach one to the cage wall and replace them every couple weeks when they start to smell really bad. Then they also have a little blanket in there just so they have a bit more comfy, but I change this pretty much once a week or once every other week just so it doesn't smell too bad. And then we also have one pouch. Normally they would have more than one pouch, but since the cage is divided, it's just one. But they can hide in here as well if they want to, and then in the tunnel and also inside the coconut. The pouch I've sewn myself. I think I actually have a video on my channel of how I did this, and yeah, a bit Christmassy. Then you can see the divider in there. Normally you could take the divider out and the cage would be much bigger and more appropriate for sugar gliders, but since we are still in the intro phase, I can't do that at the moment. And then this whole cage would be just one instead of two separate ones. Now let me show you the guys a little bit, just so you know that I still have Shuggies. There's Daisy and there's Oreo hiding away. Hi monkey, I'm sorry. Go to sleep. I'm using flash, so it's a bit bothering to them. And then we have the second part of the cage. Oh, let me just show you the divider. I've sewn myself the blanket for the divider, the cover, and I actually had to secure it just so that they don't pull it away, because that happened once. And then they got to each other and Oreo and Lily started to fight through the cage bars. Then we have the second part of the cage for the girls. And over here some more toys that I have made. Over there you can see again the markers, and I also have some cups in here for hiding treats and plastic flowers. These I make from straws, but I think I've showed you a couple of videos of how I make those, and I've definitely made a video, oh I'm sorry Daisy, on how I did this thingy right here. Didn't quite turn up as I wanted it, but they love playing with it, so it's in there. Another piñata for this other cage size. This one's a bear. Then over there, some more toys. And this little bridge thingy I've made myself as well, just so that they have some extra space to climb on. Then another bridge in here on this side. Another shipping tube. And in there, some more toys for them. This little bowl with toys inside, and more treats and their favorite duck. They destroyed so many of these and I can't find them anymore, but I'm keeping this one until I can find a new one that is not destroyed. A second wheel, of course, because these girls also have to have their fun and run during the night. By the way, they're so silent. I love them so much. It was a great investment. I've put these on this side of the cage. It's just clear plastic, and I've secured it with zip ties just so that they can't reach out for each other during the bars, because I don't want them to hurt each other. So that's why they're there. And then we have the water bottles. I have one over here and one on the other side. Normally I would suggest you take 2 bottles per cage side, but unfortunately I couldn't find these same bottles anymore at the moment, and so I only have one, but I do check them daily just to make sure that they're still okay and they still distribute water as they should. And then of course more feeder doors that are not being used, and a little basket over here. And I also keep a camera inside so that I can follow them during the night. It's covered in this plastic bowl so that the Shuggies can't reach it. And it's pretty nice because I can see what the Shuggies are doing during the night, and I like it. This is where the cable from the camera is hidden so that the Shuggies can't actually reach for it, and then it goes out right here. So the Shuggies can't reach for the cable. I've had this camera for around 6 months and I've never had any accidents with them, so that's good. And a second pouch over here with Lily and Nala. And let me show you the girls too. Maybe we can find some rings as well in there. Hi, baby. Oh, let me see. Let me see my 2 girls. Hi. So this is Lily and this is Nala. Oh, and there are some rings. Okay, go to sleep. The cage also has these flight doors, but I don't use them for my Shuggies because, well, I don't need them. I've actually secured them in place with zip ties because they're pretty loud during the night when the Shuggies are jumping around. And then normally if you would remove this divider from here, there's a cover that goes over this hole so that the Shuggies can't get out from here. And also I've added cable hiders down here just so that the Suggies can't get out from here. Normally, this is where you would put the shields that would catch up all of the food they throw around, but I don't really use those. I vacuum pretty much every single day, so I don't need them. I just added these cable hiders, and also I think they look nicer, so that's why I did it too. They are on all sides, and that's a great tip if you have any big gaps inside of the cage close to a door or something. You can just use something like this to cover the holes, and they're very sturdy. Nothing happens over there. Just make sure when you cut the zip ties that you file them down so that they don't have any sharp edges. And then one last thing would be the cage cover. Can I show you the cage cover? A bit difficult, but there you go. This is the cage cover. I just purchased some material and I've sewn it myself because I've learned to sew for the Suggies, and now I have something to protect my walls. I do recommend you use a cage cover if you have sugar gliders and they are against the wall, because you do not want any food on the wall. It can get moldy and just dirty, and no. It's better if you have a cage cover. You can wash that regularly and it's cleaner that way too. This is about it, guys. I hope I covered everything that would be of interest to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this one. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. In the description box, I am going to leave a few infos for you guys if you want to read more about sugar gliders and how to properly care for them. Or if you want to purchase this cage, I am going to post the links to the shops where you can purchase them in Europe or in the US. They're a bit more expensive, but as I said, I do recommend them. They're really good and sturdy. If you want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat, I am going to leave the links in the description box as well. Or if you want to follow our vlogging channel, I post videos over there sometimes. I'm going to leave the link to that as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!